Okay, year 11, this is going through aiming for full calculator paper, and these are key questions off your first mock in year 10. But it's worth going through this so that you can ace these types of questions because the skills are always the same. Remember, this is a calculator paper. Do use it when you need to. Okay, a baker has 3 bags of flour, A, B and C. Let's read the key information. Bag A and B contain the same amount of flour, that's key. Bag C contains 940, and in the 3 bags, A, B and C, it has 2,500 grams. Work out the amount of flour in bag A. So we want bag A. So A and B are the same, so if we call that X and X, using algebra skills helps. You know that these 2 bags, that's 2 bags, that's what the 2X means, plus 940 is got to equal 2,500. First step, just do 2,500 minus 940, and that's going to equal the 2X, otherwise bag A and bag B together. Okay, it's 2X because they both weigh the same. Not worth doing any calculator errors, so just use your calculator. 1560. That's 1560 equals the 2 bags. 2X or the 2 bags. So 1 bag, you divide it by 2. So let's get the calculator up, not worth making a mistake. Divide by 2, 780. Write that down. Divide by 2 equals 780. As the grams in, that's your 3 out of 3 marks straight away. Question 2. Write 31% as a fraction. Just out of interest, what happens if I write 31? Is the percent sign here? Shift here. Oh look, you can use your calculator to give you the answer. It's 31 over 100. So do remember that little tip if you've forgotten. 31 out of 100, but you should know that. Write 1/4 as a percentage. Well, let's see. If you've forgotten, 1 over 4 equals SD 0.25. Fractions is a percentage, times it by 100 is 25%. Remember, on a non-calculator they can ask you that. So how can you make, just so you get understanding, that becomes 25 over 100, and you know it's 25%. Question 4. Use the scale to change 40 kilometers to miles. Well, there's the 40 kilometers. What do you see? It's halfway, right? Between 20 and 30, so that must be 25. Now look, here's a rule to change kilometers to miles. It says divide the distance in kilometers by 10 and then multiply by 6. Use this to approximate rule to change 40 kilometers to miles. Okay, so don't know why it's done that. So that's the rule. Let's go to pen. So 40 divided by 10 and then times it by 6. So 40 divided by 10 times by 6, 24, that's all you need to write. 24, and it's done. Oh, that's an easy 2 marks. Compare your answer to part B with your answer to part A. Well, what can you write? 2 answers are close. Close. Or you could say the rule gives a slightly, the rule gives a small answer. The rule gives a small answer. There you go. Okay, order of size. Most common error that you can make with this is forgetting that bit. Start with the smallest number. Right, it's all to 2 decimal points, so we should know it's 0.12. This is a nice one, we don't need to make the decimal points the same. 0.21, 1.02, 1.20. Look, it is like money. That's £1.2, 12 pence, £1.20, 21p. Right, solve. We always do the inverse because this means 3 times what makes 36. Do get used to this skill. Divided by 3 gives you m. So that equals 12. Double check your answer. Does 3 times 12 make 36? Yes, so you know you're correct. So this means it's only 1 mark, so 7 minus what equals 3. That's the easiest way to do it, and you should know it's 4. Right, let's zoom out a bit. So there's a graph to find out how much money she has paid for the number of hours she has worked. How much money is Nazima paid for each hour she works? Well, what we want to do here is, you can look at 1 hour, but that's kind of hard to see. But this 2 hours is perfect, right? To be sure. So 2 hours equals £30, right? So you can say in 1 hour, you know she must make 15. That's the answer, and that is roughly halfway. So you can say it's 15 anyway. But just to be sure, last week Nazima worked for 36 hours. How much money was she paid? Well, if she gets paid £15 per hour, then you just need to write 36 times 15. Now, if you're good, you can do that mentally, but it's a calculator paper, just use it. Show you working out, 540. Result, easy 2 marks. Write 17 as a fraction of 30. 17, that means 17 out of 30. Easy marks that we must get. Work this out. Okay, let's see. Now, this should be full marks. Make sure this is exactly correct. Does this look like what's written on a calculator? So here, let's clear it. Use a fraction button. Now, can you see we're not going to get the root there, so I'm going to clear it. Let's go to write the square root first, then the fraction button, type the numbers in. Now, can you see that looks exactly what's on the screen to the left? Equals. Write down all the figures. So that's all the figures there. 1.8, 44977, 205. That's all you need to do. Now I want to show you what some people might have done is if you use that fraction button first, 13.82, then do your 4.06. Now if you square root at the same wrong place, so imagine you might put the square root here, that's not exactly the same, is it? If you put, let's see, if you do the square root here, can you see? You do it after and you'll be fine. You have to get these right. Give your answer to part A correct to 2 decimal places, so let's look at this. What's the next number? 4. It's not 5 or more, so it stays as 1.84. Question 10. Reflect. Best way to do this is, let's use a nice pink. That's 2 squares down, so that new point is 2 squares down. With this shape, I would do each point. That's 1, 2, 3, so count 1, 2, 3, that's there. And that one, oh, I can see that's 4, so count 4. Join the points up. Let's use a nice purple. Does it say label it? No. And just for the fun of it, there you go, that's an easy 2 marks as well. Change 3 meters into centimeters. We did make a mistake with that. So you've just got to remember this. 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. Right, so you can see from meters to centimeters we times by 100. If it's the other way round, we divide by 100. But we've got 3 meters, so we know we need to times it. We should know it's 300. Done. 12. Scott wants to buy orange juice. He's going to buy boxes of oranges. Right, key information. There's 24 oranges in each box of oranges. 30 oranges make 2 litres of orange juice. Scott needs to buy enough oranges to make 8 litres of orange juice. Work out the number of boxes of oranges that Scott needs to buy. Right, so let's use a dark purple. So 30 oranges makes 2 litres. So let's just write this here. 30 oranges equals 2 litres. We need 8 litres. So to get to 8, we multiply by 4. So we need to multiply that by 4. You can use a calculator, but I'm just going to write it. So he needs 120 oranges. Now the question is how many boxes. So what you have to do is 120 divided by 24 to see how many boxes you need. There we go, we've got the calculator. 120 divided by 24. Oh, exactly 5 boxes. That's a nice round answer. Now, if the answer was 4.8, you'd round up to 5 because you have to buy boxes. That's 5 boxes. What question number is that? 12. B. Have a read of part B. So, Scott buys that many apples and 280 bananas. It says, write down the ratio of apples that Scott buys to the number of bananas. Give your ratio in its simplest form. Step 1. Apples to bananas. So, I'm just going to write A. 1260. This is the ratio. 280. B. Now, you could just keep on dividing that to simplify fractions like you do normally, a simplified ratio, so you could see what the 2 numbers go into both and keep on dividing. But I'm going to give you a quick cheat, just write as a fraction. 1260 280, press your equals, and that gives you 9 over 2. Done. 9 to 2. And if you could see what I mean is, because if you do 1260 divided by 9, that's 140, and 280 divided by your 140 equals 2. That's done, easy. That'll get you your marks. Oh, nice easy 2 marks using calculator skills. 13, so you can see, use your calculator. There are that many sweets, 28 sweets in each full bag. The machine fills as many bags as possible. How many sweets are left? Right, use your calculator. So, 4275 divided by 28. What do we get? Let's do that. Let's write that down. 4275 divided by 28 equals 152. 153 bags were too much, so let's just say it's 152.7. 152.7. It's whole bags, so we can use this 152 and times it by 28 to see what number we get. 152 times 28, 4256, 4256. So we've got 4275 minus 4256. That is 19, but like I say, just use your calculator. 4275 minus 4256 equals 19. Not worth losing a mark on that because it's a calculator test. 19. That's all your marks. Nicely done. Work out the value of t when x equals 5 and y equals minus 7. So that's what you're doing, is 3 times 5 plus 4 times minus 7. Why mess about? Use your calculator. I'm very confident, but under exam pressure, why risk it? Plus 4 times, there's a minus sign there, plus equals minus 13. Now we write this down to get a method mark. You could even, just to be sure, right, that means 15 minus 28. There you go. Work out the value of y when t equals 38 and x equals 6. So what do you write? That's 38, because that's t. 6 equals 3 times 6 plus 4y. So it's 38 equals 18 plus 4y. We can solve like normal. So minus 18 minus 18, we get 20 equals 4y, because that cancels. So what do we need to do here? Divide by 4. Divided by 4. Y equals 5. 5. Easily done. Okay. So these questions sometimes seem to hold you back. So you've got Rachel and Tom, they share £600. That's fine. Rachel gets 2/5 of £600. That's the first thing we should work out. So 2/5 times 600. That's all we need to do. 240. Let's write that down. That equals 240. Samana gets a quarter of the money that is left over. So what do we need to work out? 600 minus 240, then use your calculator. So you've got 360 here. And she gets a quarter of that. Can't do that mentally. What's 1/4? 1/4, use the arrows, times, what did I say? 360. 90. So 1/4 times 360 equals 90. Tom gets the rest of the money. So let's just work out how much Tom gets. So Rachel gets 240. Samana gets 90. So added together, that's 330. So Tom gets the rest, 600 minus 330. Do use your calculator, but I know that's 270. Okay, this is how much Tom gets. Tom. Now Tom is saying I would have got more money if it had shared the £600 equally. Well, what's 600 divided by 3? That's 200. So is Tom correct? No. He gets £70 more when not shared equally. Some kind of communication mark, that's enough. So that is a big 4 out of 4 marks that we can all get. 16. Write the following fractions in order of sides. Start with the smallest fraction. On a non-calculator, make all the denominators the same so you can compare. But you've got a calculator, so let's just use our little tricks. What's 5 over 8? Press equals, press your SD, make sure it's not a recurring decimal. That equals 0.625. 2 over 3. Just going to show you every step of the way. If you're really good, do this. Equals SD. Can you see it's got a dot on the top? It does not mean 0.6, it's recurring. So write 0.66 for now. If you get a decimal number that's close to it, just go check that later. 4 over 9 equals SD. Don't just write 0.4, common error, it's 0.44. 0.44 to 2 decimal places. Now why did you have to do this? Because watch this, if you wrote 0.6 from before, was 3 over 5 equals 0.6, so we do that to stop confusing yourself. Now you can easily see 0.44 is the smallness, so let's write 4 over 9, then it's 0.6, because remember, let's just make the amount of decimal points the same. It's 4 over 9, 3 over 5, 5 over 8, and 2 over 3, and you can see how actually not many of you got full marks in that, and that should be full marks, and that's done. Do you try some of these questions that you're not sure of again? Make a note of a number that you didn't get right first time and go back to it in a few weeks, and then make sure you ace this stuff. This is how we're going to get our 4 easy.